Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a pretty interesting stack of sources detailing a bold industrial strategy out of Zambia.
That's right. It's about their plan to really diversify the economy, move away from just copper.
And they're focusing on two product areas that maybe at first glance seem a bit disconnected: plastics and cleaning supplies.
Exactly. And we're looking at the trade data, but also the kind of the bigger thinking behind it, the mission, really.
Okay, so this mission is part of their big national plan.
Yeah, the 8th National Development Plan, the 8 NDP, it's a major push away from just exporting raw materials. They want to build up manufacturing, become a prosperous middle-income country by 2030.
And a big part of that is supporting smaller businesses, right? The small and medium enterprises or go wobi.
Absolutely. They're seen as key drivers for this whole thing.
Okay, so let's get into the trade reality then. The sources show Zambia's overall trade picture in 2023 actually looked, well, positive.
It did. The total import-export coverage ratio hit about 103%, so exporting slightly more than importing overall.
But when you zoom in on these two specific sectors, cleaning supplies and plastics, it tells a very different story, kind of a tale of two industries.
Definitely. We need to look at the HS codes. That's the global system for classifying products. So cleaning products fall under HS 34.
And how does that sector look?
Actually pretty strong. It's often in surplus. In 2023, the coverage ratio was almost 150%, 149.78% to be precise.
Meaning they exported way more than they imported.
Yeah, about a $43 million surplus in cleaning supplies, so a healthy sector.
Okay, that's one side. But then you look at plastics, HS 39, and
Yep.
it's the opposite.
Completely the opposite. Plastics really show the scale of the challenge, the dependency. In 2023, Zambia imported almost $449 million worth.
449 million. Okay, and exports.
Just under $35 million.
Wow, so that import-export coverage ratio must be incredibly low.
It is just 7.79%.
Wait, 7.79%. Let me just wrap my head around that. For every, dollar of plastics they exported, they imported nearly $13 worth.
That's the maths. It's a huge deficit, over $400 million. And that gap is what this strategy is really designed to address.
Okay, so that explains the why focus on plastics. But how does cleaning supplies fit into fixing that problem? And what about the feedstock issue, plastics coming from oil? Isn't that just shifting the dependency?
Well, that's the clever part, or at least the intended part. It's about strategic synergy. They see cleaning supplies, the basic soaps and bleaches, as the core sector.
The starting point.
Kind of. It's the accessible consumer staple that kickstarts this whole industrial chain, what the sources call a synergy engine.
How does making, say, dish soap drive demand for complex plastic manufacturing?
Because if you want to scale up cleaning product manufacturing, you need huge amounts of consistent, reliable packaging. Bottles, caps, maybe even large industrial drums.
Right. You can't sell liquid soap without a container.
Exactly. And you need good containers, reliably produced. So that forces investment into plastic processing, specifically things like blow molding for bottles and injection molding for caps.
And getting into that kind of manufacturing isn't simple. It needs specific machinery, specific skills.
Precisely. And that machinery needs maintenance. And eventually, you need to make the molds and dies themselves. That requires sophisticated skills.
This is where things like CNC machining come in.
You got it. High-level CNC computer numerical control for making those precise molds. So the idea is you start with the demand for a simple bottle of bleach.
And it forces you up the value chain, needing more advanced tooling, more skilled workers.
Yes. It pulls investment into machinery, then into skills for that machinery, then into chemical innovation for better cleaners, and even into recycling infrastructure because you're producing all this plastic. It's a planned progression.
And they're actively building these skills. There's mention of an education project.
Right, an open technical knowledge transfer education project.
Yeah.
Basically, a hands-on manufacturing school.
Teaching people how to actually make this stuff.
Very practical stuff. Training and making, I think it was 11 types of cleaning products and at least 7 types of plastic products, including things like industrial containers and a big focus on recycling, too.
So they're trying to cultivate not just workers, but actual industrial entrepreneurs. The co-OB is again.
That seems to be the goal. Create skilled people who can start and grow these businesses.
Okay, so they build this domestic capacity, but the ambition is bigger than just Zambia, isn't it? There's a regional play here.
Absolutely. This links directly to the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA. That's, the world's largest free trade zone now. 1.4 billion people.
Huge market potential.
Yeah.
And is there demand for these products, plastics, and cleaning supplies across Africa?
Oh, yes. The data shows AfCFTA countries imported over $30 billion worth of just these two product categories in 2023.
30 billion, wow.
And even if you narrow it down just to the COMESA region, the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, whose headquarters are actually in Lusaka, Zambia, those countries imported over $13 billion of these same goods last year. So the regional demand is definitely there.
Right. So putting it all together, Zambia seems to be using a very deliberate, step-by-step approach. Start with something basic everyone needs, like cleaning supplies,
Use that demand to force the development of a more complex foundational industry like plastics.
which in turn builds the machinery skills, the engineering capacity, these skilled entrepreneurs needed for broader industrialization.
It's a planned industrial ascent, really. And it's interesting, starting with simple consumer goods to build up strategic capabilities, it kind of echoes some historical state-led development strategies.
Like where?
Well, you could think about Turkey's first five-year industrial plan back in 1934. Very different context, of course, but similar state-led ambition to build industry from the ground up.
So, the final thought for your listeners to maybe chew on is this. Could mastering something as seemingly simple as a bottle of bleach actually be the non-obvious first domino, the key step for Zambia to be those high-tech manufacturing skills and reach its goal of becoming a prosperous middle-income nation by 2030? Something to think about.